Hello everybody and welcome, I am Boom, and today we're gonna see if I can beat the game Pokemon FireRed with only Kabuto. Spoiler alert, I did this before with the Pokemon challenges that we're revisiting, and we did actually beat the game. Last time I was at level 77, so this time I want to see if we can beat the game at a lower level. Kabuto, as you already know, is the better of the two fossil Pokemon, despite what Lord Helix believers may try to tell you. But in all fairness and seriousness, they are both very good. With Kabuto, you swap Omanyte's special attack onto the physical attack, and you make it a little bit more defensively tanky. There will be some special moves that we need, such as Surf and Ice Beam, but we'll likely grab Return and one or two other physical moves. If you look at the moveset, it's almost identical to Omanyte's, but we'll still have plenty of options as we get into the game. Like last time, we're going to go ahead and give our rival Bulbasaur, since that'll likely be the hardest for us to face, and in the interest of honesty here, I did actually do a reset for a better nature and ability. My first roll, I got a nature that would actually hurt us more than help us, and we also got the ability Swift Swim. If this were Pokemon Emerald, where weather would actually make a difference, I would have kept it, but in this case, it didn't do anything. The next roll, though, that we get on nature is a lot better, and we also get shell armor, meaning that we're immune to crits just like Omanyte. So, we start the lab rival fight, and honestly, just like with Omanyte, it goes about like you think it would. So, with that being done and set out of the way, we can go ahead and get the beginning of the game started, and then make our way through the forest. Now, the forest proves to be easy as long as we don't get poisoned too early on, but before we go back to Brock, there is one move that I'm wanting to get access to, and that's Absorb. Now, Absorb is a horribly weak move, only 20 base power. However, it'll still do super effective damage against Brock. So, we go through the forest, and then after that, we're going to go ahead and head back to the optional rival fight. Pidgey is up first, and honestly, it's just a slug battle from the very beginning. With us having lowered accuracy and only Scratch to use, we spend a long time in battle. When Bulbasaur comes out, we barely have enough HP at the end to actually be able to win. But we have that out of the way, and we fight our way back through the forest. We do need to level up a little bit on the way just to get Absorb. So once we get to that level, we mow down the junior trainer, and then it's time to fight Brock. Brock starts with Geodude, and we take it to yellow with Absorb, showing just how bad that move actually is. Tackle barely bounces off of us, and then we can go ahead, take it down. After that, Onix is out, and with Onix, we take it to about half as it uses Rock Tomb, and it lowers speed. Next turn, it sets up Bind, and with that, we can take it out with one more Absorb to win us the battle, and that lets us move on to the next leg of the game. As we move on and have some travel ahead, let's talk a little bit. First and foremost, I'd like to remind you, if you like this kind of content, like and subscribe to the channel. We now have access to memberships, and at the time of writing this script, I just need 2 more to be able to unlock some more emotes. Once I get those unlocked, I'll probably be commissioning some more from the amazing Akio Eri, who made this lovely chip-eating emote and the Snorlax emote. What are some things, though, that you want to see with memberships as we go forward? I don't plan on making a members first video because this has and always will be a free channel, but I at the very least would like to add a few extra benefits for those who are able to show that kind of financial support. I'll leave it at that, and then humbly remind you that the Dome Fossil is the best fossil. We do have a couple options, but honestly, I kind of want to see if we can go against Misty. We have a super effective move, even if it is truly awful, but it may allow us to stay in the battle a little longer, so let's take a look and see what happens. Staryu is up first, and it uses Harden as we open with Absorb, taking it to not quite half. Water Pulse does a good chunk of damage, and we Absorb again, taking it to nearly red. Another Water Pulse takes us to 16 HP before we take it out, and healing to exactly half. Starmie is out, and Water Pulse is unfortunately able to take us from there. Alright, let's try the rival instead. Pidgeotto is first, and we use Rock Tomb, taking it to a sliver and lowering its speed as Gust connects for a little, and then we take it out with Scratch. After that, the Bulbasaur comes out, and with Grass moves, it's a lot scarier. We do manage to take it to almost half, and then Vine Whip immediately knocks us out. We try this battle about 20 times, or 18 times to be really specific, and we take the Pidgeotto down in one shot whenever we get a high roll on the damage with Rock Tomb. Since we outspeed Bulbasaur, we actually get an incredibly lucky crit and manage to take it out with our Rock Tomb. After that, Abra can't do anything, and since Rattata doesn't have any moves that can do neutral or super effective damage, we can take it down without having too many issues and move on. Now, the good news is we can level up on some Pokemon trainers to the north, and on top of that, if we can't beat Misty, which, spoiler alert, we still get rolled a bit, but we can go to the route to the south, heading into Vermilion. So after doing a lot of grinding, and of course, knocking out a little bit of stuff like getting the bike, we head back to fight Misty, and see how things go with a little bit of extra firepower on our side. Staryu, as always, is up first, and we hit Rock Tomb for a one-shot. Starmie is out, we take it to red, lowering its speed. Misty heals up, we take it back to red, lowering its speed again. With the 2 speed drops, we're actually able to go ahead, outspeed it, and take it out. I am not 100% sure if that speed drop was needed. I am horrible when it comes to doing the math and calculations, like some people. If you know, let me know. Cool, let's move on. Now, we can go ahead and head to the ship. Now, I will say that despite some of the struggles we've had, I don't bother fighting through all the trainers. I just grab the items that we need and then go challenge the rival. If for some reason we can't beat the rival, then we'll have plenty of trainers that we can still knock out, including those on the way to Dark Cave. Kabuto has definitely been struggling a little bit for the beginning of the game, but I'm hoping that for the back half of the game, things will go better. After we get these 2 battles out of the way, we'll go ahead and talk about what we have coming up next. Rival time. Pidgeotto is first, so we open with Rock Tomb, taking it down in one go. After that, Ivysaur is out, and we continue with Rock Tomb, taking it below half as it goes for Sleep Powder, but misses, and we can take it out next turn. After that, Kadabra comes out, and a Mud Shot takes it down for a clean one-shot. Raticate is last, so we take it to yellow, as Hyper Fang doesn't do much, so we can take it down to win the battle. After that, we give the captain a quick old rub down, grab Cut, and defeat the Trash Can puzzle. Let's see if we can defeat Surge. Surge starts with Voltorb, and we take it down with a single Mud Shot. Pikachu is up next, and we continue with Mud Shot, taking it down in one go as well. Raichu is his last Pokemon, and he uses Thunder Wave, and naturally we stay paralyzed, because why wouldn't we? Shockwave does a good chunk of damage, taking us to well below half, and we stay paralyzed again, and get knocked out. Now this does take a lot of attempts, just like some of the other battles between Thunder Waves and Raichu knowing Double Team. It takes a while. A few way too many attempts in, we take down the first 2 Pokemon, just like before. We get to Raichu, and we actually open with Water Pulse, just kind of hoping for a little bit of chip damage. However, it just goes for Shockwave, so even though it does a lot of damage, it doesn't paralyze us, and it also doesn't do Double Team, so we swap to the slightly inaccurate Mud Shot, but we hit, taking it down, winning the battle. Nothing too crazy, just required a little bit of luck on our part. Now, we have a bit more travel ahead, and the game is going to start to open up for us a little bit here. First off, we'll be able to get access to the move Ice Beam, which is always huge for us, despite our poor special attack. We'll probably get Return, just to make sure that we do have a strong physical move. Erica, probably going to be an issue. Dark Cave, though, thankfully isn't too much of an issue, and we head to Celadon to go ahead and start knocking out stuff best we can. We do have those few options between Erica, Giovanni, and of course the rival at the tower. The good news is, if we can't beat Erica for whatever reason, we can always just move on through the back half of the game and then come back to her when we are incredibly leveled up. If it comes to that, I don't know. For now, though, let's go ahead. We'll try Giovanni first. Giovanni first sends out Onyx, and we open up with Absorb, taking it to yellow, and it uses Bind. We use Absorb again, then we can go ahead, take it down. Next out is Kangaskhan, and we're not doing too much damage to it, but to be fair, even with it landing Mega Punch, it's not doing a whole lot to us either. We swap between moves, hoping to get a Confusion, but ultimately no luck. We do get decent damage off Rock Tomb, then we do Water Pulse a few times, as it only uses Tail Whip before going down. Now, it's just Rhyhorn, and we can take it down easily to win the battle. On to Erica. Erica first starts with Victory Bell, and we open up with Ice Beam, taking it down in one go. Next out is Tangela, and we continue with Ice Beam, taking it down as well. Finally, it's out to Vileplume, and we Ice Beam once again, taking it to yellow. Unfortunately, it survives, and Giga Drain is an immediate one-shot to put an end to this attempt. We do try this a few times, but unfortunately, unless we get a lucky freeze or a crit, there's no way that we're going to be winning this. Rather than trying the battle a few dozen times or more to try to get the luck to line up, we go ahead and make our way back to the tower. Like I said previously, worst case scenario, we'll just come back later. Also, I don't know if you are able to hear it or not, but we are apparently getting at least a little bit of a thunderstorm. No rain right now, but the thunder is kind of loud. I will do my best to cut it out, but if I am unable to, well, apologies. Let's try that rival fight. Pidgeotto is up first, so we use Ice Beam, taking it down in one shot. We're kind of over-leveled by now, which usually happens in solo challenges, so as Ivysaur comes out, we can Ice Beam it for a one-shot as well. Next out is Gyarados, and we swap over to Rock Tomb, taking it to yellow and lowering its speed, not that that matters. After that, we miss, getting hit with Bite before taking it out. After that, Kadabra comes out, we swap to Mud Shot, taking it to yellow as Confusion does a bit of damage before we take it down with Water Pulse. Growlithe is the last Pokemon, and we use Water Pulse again, taking it down and winning the battle. Now that we're halfway through the game, we can talk about Kabuto as a whole. Kabuto's kind of struggling a little bit, especially in these early stages of the game. The back half of the game, I have to assume, is going to be a little bit easier for us. Aside from Koga and maybe Sabrina, both Blaine and Giovanni use Pokemon that we can be super effective against. So we're going to go ahead, head through the Safari Zone, and then we can try our hand at Koga. Overall, I don't think Omanyte struggled this way. So I don't know if it's just because of the difference in stats or what may be causing that. Because again, I did try to make this as fair as possible with the ability. Maybe Omanyte's nature just helped a little bit. I don't know. But hopefully Kabuto is able to catch up at least a little bit now that we're in the back half. Coughing is out and we use Return, taking it to around the halfway point as Sludge connects for a little damage and then we take it down. After that it's out to Muck and Return takes it to not quite half as it sets up Minimize. We swap to Water Pulse and miss as it uses Minimize and then we take it to yellow. After that it's back to Return and then we can knock it out. Then, his second coughing comes out, and Return takes it to a little under half as it uses Smokescreen, and then we can knock it out. Finally, it's out to his Wheezing, and Return takes to about a quarter of its health. Sludge connects, and then we take it to right below half as it Smokescreens again. After that, we get hit with Water Pulse to take it to red as Sludge takes us to 23 HP and poisons us. Unfortunately, from there, Koga heals up, and the poison damage is able to take us out easily enough. Alright, so if that's the case, let's go ahead and try to head back to Erica's gym. Between the rival, the gym leaders in Koga's place, and just general travel, we have done some fights and gotten a few level ups along the way. And the beginning of this battle is the exact same with both the Victory Bell and the Tangela. They were both one-shots to begin with. This time, however, when it gets to Vileplume, we're able to now one-shot it as well to be able to win the battle. So, we go back to Koga, and unfortunately it's not going any differently. Like I said, I don't remember Omanyte struggling here, but that's okay because we still have some options. We can go to Silphco, clear out the trainers here. Now, we do try the rival fight, but I'm not going to waste any of your time and just let you know that we get smacked down pretty quickly for our hubris. So, we go ahead and make our way through the rest of Silphco. Grab the vitamins we need and whatnot, doing our best to bulk up, and then after that, we'll go ahead and head back to Koga and see how things do. With coughing, at this level, we use Return and take it to red as it misses Toxic. Koga does heal up a couple times as we keep taking it to red before knocking it out. Muck comes out and we use Return, taking it to right about half as it uses Minimize. Another Return connects and takes it down. Then, you have Coughing, and we take it to yellow as it uses Self-Destruct. Then, the last Pokemon is Wheezing, and we use Return, taking it to not quite half. Smokescreen does connect, and we use Water Pulse, taking it to red as Toxic connects. Koga heals up, and we do spend more than a few turns whittling it back down, and Toxic takes us all the way to 24 HP before we take it down to win the battle, although it is a very narrow victory. Back to Silphco, though for some reason that doesn't work, we'll be able to go to Cinnabar for a badge boost. Even if we're a lower level than Blaine, given our typing, I have to imagine it would be at least an easy battle for us, but let's take a look at this fight first, and then we'll look into other options if we need to. Pidgeotta's up first, so we take it to red with Ice Beam as it hits Wing Attack before going down. Then, as Venusaur comes out, we take it to half, freeze it, and then we can take it down from there, which is good, because I have to imagine Razor Leaf would probably still knock us out. As Gyarados comes out, we swap between Ice Beam and Return, and Dragon Rage takes us all the way down to 16 HP. With Alakazam, we can take it to half, and then we knock it out. After that, Growlithe is out, and we just one-shot it to win the battle, and that lets us move on to Giovanni. Giovanni first starts with Nidorino, and we open with Ice Beam, taking it to yellow as it responds with Fury Attack before going down. As the Queen comes out, we take it to about half, as Double Kick does actually a good chunk of damage before we take it down. Rhyhorn comes out, and that's a pretty simple one-shot, and that leaves us with Kangaskhan. Fake Out, as always, will make you flinch, and then we hit Return for about half as it uses Tail Whip. We do take it to a sliver, but only because it uses Tail Whip again, so we can take it down for a pretty simple battle. Alright, with the struggles that we've had with some of the other battles, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of nice to have at least a couple simple ones. So what we'll do here is go to Sabrina. As long as we can one-shot her Pokemon, we should be alright. Assuming, of course, that she doesn't just one-shot us with Psychic. But at the same time, she has a habit of just, not attacking. So we'll see what happens. Sabrina starts with Kadabra, and we open with Return, taking it down on one shot. Next out is Mr. Mime, and we continue with Return, taking it down as well. Venomoth comes out, and we take it to red as it uses Psybeam for a bit of damage, and Sabrina heals up, but we can take it down pretty shortly after that. Finally, it's out to Alakazam, and it hits hard with Psychic. But we managed to get a critical hit that I don't think mattered, but I'm still thankful for it since that one-shot's the last Pokemon, and we can go ahead and move on. Let's go surfing now, Lapras is learning now, let's go to Cinnabar Island. Also, I'll be starting a new randomizer race next Tuesday, where we're going to be forcing ourselves to 100% complete the seed. So if you want to see me suffer outside of Pokemon challenges, I'll be streaming it both here and on Twitch. Twitch link and Discord links are going to be down in the description. For now, though, we're going to go ahead and see how things go against Blaine. Like I said, I can't imagine it'll be too bad, but I have been wrong multiple times before. Blaine first sends out Growlithe, and given the Intimidate ability, we're going to be sticking to Surf, which thankfully knocks out the Pupper in one go. Arcanine comes out, and we take it to red as Bite does solid damage. Knowing that Blaine will heal, we swap over to Mudshot just to take a small chunk of damage, and then we swap back to Surf to be able to finish it off. And now, we have access to one of my favorite moves, Ancient Power, and we'll get rid of the slightly inaccurate Mudshot. Ponyta's out, and we use Surf. Rapidash is the final Pokemon, and another Surf is used, taking it out, and winning us the badge. Now from here, we go ahead and deny the Sevi Islands quest, as always, and we do have one more badge, but, I mean, do y'all even want to recap at this point? I'm not gonna lie, it's just a quick one-shot sweep through pretty much every single Pokemon. There was really no challenger. I mean, I'll still play the footage so you can see it, but yeah, it was easy. But with that badge out of the way, we can now go ahead and go fight the rival. Now with the rival, we can take the Pidgeot out without too much of a problem. But unfortunately, the Venusaur is able to come out and take us out without too much of a problem. Even if we do get the Omni Boost, it's still able to one-shot us, so for the first time in a little bit, we do have to level up. We go with that, and then it's time to go ahead and just give it another shot. So now, we can take the Pidgeot down with a single Ancient Power, but we unfortunately don't get a boost. However, as the Venusaur comes out, we actually get a crit off the Ice Beam and take it down. From there, we can take Rhyhorn down on one Surf. Gyarados goes to about half with Ancient Power, hitting us with Hydro Pump before it goes down. Growlithe goes down to one shot, and then it's out to Alakazam as we swap to Return, taking it to half, and it does an attack, so we take it down. Now, we can head to the Elite Four, and I do, of course, like to theorycraft a little bit during this time. I think that Lorelei will be easy enough as long as we get some kind of Omni Boost. With Bruno, he could be an issue given the fact that he has fighting moves that like to do super effective damage. Agatha, that's going to be hit or miss, just depending on how often her moves hit or miss. Then with Lance, that should be pretty easy given the weakness to ice. The final rival fight, that'll be kind of depending on if we can take the Venusaur lower than half with a single shot after the berry heals up. 9 times out of 10, it is always going to go for Solar Beam because it's super effective, but it takes 2 turns. So we'll see what happens. For the sake of time, because it is about 4.5 hours till this video is supposed to go up, I'm going to go ahead and skip to the winning attempt against Lorelei. At level 73, we can take Dugong down to red, and then Lorelei does spend some time healing. We do end up getting an Omni boost, and then with Cloyster, it just likes to waste time, so it isn't too difficult to take down. From there, Slowbro goes to half, hits with Surf, and then goes down. And then as Lapras comes out, we can take it down with 1 Ancient Power. And finally, Jinx goes down to return, and that wins us the battle. Bruno time! Both of the Onix go down to a single Surf, and then with the Hitmonchan, we use Surf, taking it to right about half, as Sky Uppercut does way too much damage. We do manage to take it out, though. Then, the Hitmonlee is out, we take it to yellow, and then it Brick Breaks us down. Okay, I think that we can do this easily enough. When the first Onix come out, we use Ancient Power, taking it below half, but we get the boost. Bruno heals, we use our last Ancient Power to see if we get another boost. We don't. Now, we can take it down, and then we take down the other Onix as well. As Hitmonchan comes out, we can take it to red, and its attacks aren't doing too much now that we have the boost, so we can take it down after a couple heals. Then, Hitmonlee goes down to 1 shot. Machamp goes below half, hits us with a pretty weak attack, all things considered, and then it goes down to win the battle. Okay, on to Agatha. Agatha first starts with Gengar, and we open with Surf, taking it to yellow as it hits a weak attack, then goes down. Golbat comes out, and we can take it down with a single Ice Beam. Haunter comes out, we take it to red as Agatha heals up, we can take it down not too long after that. With Gengar, probably the luckiest thing we've ever had happen. Gengar misses Hypnosis, and we use Ice Beam on it, managing to get a freeze. We take it to yellow after a heal up, then despite being put to sleep, we wake up very quickly, take it down. And then Arbok comes out, and it's a simple 2-shot to win the battle. Had we not woken up in time, or the first Hypnosis hit, I'm already well aware that we would have missed this. This was about 6 attempts in, and it all just depended on if her attacks connected or missed. Agatha Lottery, everybody. Alright, let's go see if Lance is going to be as easy as I thought. I hope so. Gyarados is first, and we open with Ancient Power, taking it to about half as it uses Dragon Rage. We use another Ancient Power, taking it to a sliver as it uses another Dragon Rage. But our next attack crits to take it down, but no boost. Dragonair is next, we use Ice Beam, taking it down in 1 shot. After that, he has another Dragonair that actually survives, but we freeze it, so we take it down with Ancient Power. Dragonite comes out and is definitely more powerful, but is also more weak to Ice Beam, so it goes down. Then, finally, you have Aerodactyl, and it's obviously trying to fish for an Omni boost as well, as it hits Ancient Power and we take it to yellow. Another Ancient Power connects, taking us to 1 HP, but since it did not get a boost, we managed to knock it out and barely win this battle. Alright, we got one more battle to go. Let's do this. Pidgeot goes to red as it hits Wing Attack, and then the rival heals as we take it back to red. He switches over to Rhydon as we connect with Ancient Power, but we get the boost, so we can swap over to Surf to take it out. Venusaur comes out, we take it to red, and it goes for Solar Beam, so we can take it down before it can fire off. Then he switches back to Pidgeot and heals it up, but we just take it down. Then Alakazam comes out, and we take it down with Ancient Power. Then you have Gyarados coming out, and it's a simple 2-shot with Ancient Power. And finally, it's Arcanine, and that goes down to Surf to win us the battle. Well, I hope you enjoyed that particular run, and the last time we beat the game, we ended it at level 77, and this time we ended at level 76, so I'm going to consider that an improvement. Next week, we're going to be doing a Viper run in Pokemon FireRed to see if it can keep up with how well Zangoose did, because ultimately, if it does worse, that just means that Zangoose is the better of the 2 Pokemon. Other than that, I'm not 100% sure what I have planned, aside from maybe an all-birds run. But I hope to see you in either the Discord or stream, or just in the comments as well. If you have any requests, let me know, or if you just want to say, hey, sup, in the comments, that's cool too. For now, though, I gotta get this edited and get started on next week's challenge while I have a little bit of time in the morning. So, as always, if you like the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out. Also, I just realized I'm ahead of schedule. It's Wednesday, not Thursday. Time is a weird thing, y'all. Have a good one.